Hi, boys and girls. Happy Thursday. We're continuing with topic 5 in division. Today, we're continuing with what we did yesterday of dividing using the algorithm of partial quotients. Today, it's just going to be larger dividends. So the numbers are a little bit larger, but it's still the same strategy that we used yesterday. So here we have 174 divided by 6. Some of you are a little unsure where to start. A good place to start, let's start with 10, right? I wouldn't start with 100 because 6 times 100 is 600, and that's too big. So let's just start with 10, okay? 6 times 10 is 60. 174 minus 60 gives me 114. So I could do 60 again. 10 again to get me to 60. So a 10 up top, 10 times 6 is 60. I subtract. And now I'm down to 54. And that's part of 6 fact family, right? 6 times 9. 9 times 6 is 54. I'm not going to have a remainder, which is cool. Then I always taught my class to box these up and add them. 10 plus 10 is 20, plus 9 is 29. Now, some of you may have realized you could have started with 20 here because 6 times 20 was 120. But some of you seem a little bit unsure how to start. So start with 10 and you can keep going. That's what's nice about this strategy is, you can start with different numbers and ultimately you will come up with the same quotient. So let's try another one. Sorry, it's a little blurry. 277 divided by 5. I can't start with 100 because 100 times 5 is 500. I could start with 10, but I think I might be here for a while. So I'm going to go back to sort of thinking about what we did in lesson 5-1. What would be close to 277 if I multiply by 5? I'm going to say 50. Because 5 times 5 is 25, and you add a 0, that gets me to 250. You could have started with 10. There would have been far more steps than there are the way I'm doing it, okay? Let's subtract. 27. 5 goes into 27 5 times. That gets me to 25. And if I subtract, I have 2. Okay, so I do have a remainder here. I'm going to box this up. 50 plus 5 gives me 55 with a remainder of 2. All right, let's try another one. Ooh, here we have a real big one. I can't do 1,000 because 3 times 1,000 will get me 3,000. That's way too big. I could start with 100, but I might be here for a while. So again, I'm going to go back to sort of those fact families. And I know 3 times 9 gets me to 27. And I know 3 times 900 gets me to 2,700. That's why sort of all the work we've done before this leads us up to this, right? It sort of builds us to this point. So then I'm going to subtract 6 to 126. I could use 10, but again, I'm going to use that same thinking. 126, 12 here is in the fact family with 3. I know 40 times 3 gets me to 120. And then if I subtract, I have 6 left over. 3 goes into 6 how many times? 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay. If I add these all up, I box it up. 900 plus 40 plus 2 gives me 942. Okay. I think we have another one. Ooh. This one I can use 1,000, right? 9,428. Let's start with 1,000. 1,000 times 7 gets me to 7,000. Let's subtract. It's going to be an 8. That's going to be a 2. That's going to be a 4. And that's going to be a 2. So I still have a pretty big number, 2,428. 7 goes into that how many times? I think of fact families, 3, right, and 21. So 300 times 7, 300 times 7 gets you to 2,100. Let's try that. So boys and girls, this is, you really have to know your multiplication tables. So we're at 328. I know 7 times 40 is going to be 280. Ooh, my line, there it is. Uh-oh, 8. I can't do 2 minus 8. And I'm running out of space, 48. 7 goes into 48. Well, I know 7 times 7 is 49, so it has to be 6, which is 42. I'm going to smush in here real tiny. And 48 minus 42 is 6. So that's going to be my remainder. So if I box this all up, 1,000 plus 300 plus 40 plus 6 gives me 1,346. And there is a remainder of 6. Okay? Let's look at a word problem. After a state fair, 3 fourth-grade classes volunteered to clean up the trash from the fairgrounds. The total they collected was 1,281 pounds of trash. If each class collected the same amount, those are our clue words, right? Each class is collecting the same amount, so I know I'm dividing. How many pounds of trash did each class collect? There are 3 classes. So 3 into 1,281. So I think about 1,200, and I know 3 times 400 gives me 1,200. Going to subtract, which gets me to 81. I know 3 times 30 is 90, so that's going to work, not going to work. So let's do 3 times, 20, which is 60. There's like a little delay, which is 21. Cool. And then 3 goes into 21 7 times. Super cool. No remainder. I like to box up my partial quotients, add them up. 400 plus 20 plus 7 is 427 pounds. LBS. Cool. So boys and girls, it's really a continuation of yesterday's lesson. You're just doing larger dividends. Take your time. Remember to follow the steps through and use sort of the lessons that we've done prior to help you. All right. Have a great day.